back to the Final Shot Podcast. Today the podcast is brought to you by Onnit. If you're not on it, get on it at onnit.com/TFS podcast.
Okay, hold on. Full disclosure,
Oh,
Tanner.
fuck, Derek's back.
I know you've been really at me about this Onnit stuff. And I don't know if the camera will catch it. My face is a beet red right now. And it's not funny. And I feel like I owe you this. I stole the last shipment.
Fuck, you're a piece of shit.
I did steal the last shipment. Tanner's been bugging me. I'm fucking optimized as fuck today, by the way. I got, they sent us some steel maces. New shipment of Alpha Brain. We got the Shroom Tech come in. And actually, if the camera is going to point over, we got a new feed coming in. I'm sporting the brand new Onnit hat that they sent me. Anderson up. So, he's kind of been busting my balls a little bit about it. I wanted to thank Onnit again. They've been putting in extra work for the podcast, for throwing stuff out there.
And I'm rocking an empty bottle of Shroom Tech, you fucking asshole.
And while he smiles right now, once this podcast comes off air, I might get a licking. But anyways, that's the full dilly on Onnit shipment. They have been sending us stuff, and I've been lying for the last 2 weeks.
Guys, it's onnit.com/TFS podcast. Go get yourself some Shroom Tech Sport, Shroom Tech Immune, Alpha Brain, Creatine, Steel Maces. I'm fucking going to steal that Steel Mace from your house now.
Definitely do that.
Again, onnit.com/TFS podcast. We're also brought to you by Buds and Leaves. If you guys have any problems with your body, I'm telling you right now that CBD can fix it. Also, a little bit of that medical marijuana can help you out too. So head over to budsandleaves.com and check them out. We're also brought to you by Smile Spray, Smile Canada, Smile V Liquid. Smile V Liquid is by far, hands down, my favorite way to ingest CBD right now. It's in like these little Banaka bottles. Remember Banaka, Derek, from back in like 1998?
It's taking a lot. High school. Yeah, the cinnamon Banaka was it, man.
Yeah, you look like Slick Rick walking down the street fucking spraying that shit in your mouth. But Smile Canada, check them out on the Instagram. Guys, Smile Canada and Buds and Leaves are on a hiatus right now due to the government, but they will be back soon in full effect, I promise you. So give them just a little bit. But if you want to get some CBD right now, head over to Sovereign Extracts. These guys have the vaporizer pens. They also have shattered, butter, whatever the fuck else you want too. So Sovereign Extracts, they're dope. Literally. I like them. Last but not least, the Tough Canuck Beard Company. If you have a full facial hair set like myself.
Unlike myself.
Unlike Derek, he can't grow one. Head over to Tough Canuck Beard Oil, Tough Canuck Canada, and get some of their products, man. They're the only shit. That's the only shit I put in my beard. It's fantastic. All right, Derek, what the fuck's going on?
We got a lot on the agenda today. More recently, though, as of 12 hours ago we had the 2018 19 Provincial Boxing Championships, where you were actually the master of ceremonies.
That was a good night. I had a good time.
And I guess lots of stuff went down. Our first event, well, we were actually maybe working together per se. You let me do my thing, I let you do your thing. They kind of gave you the mic at the last minute and said go for it with very little explanation or understanding. Kind of had to wing it most of the night.
I didn't have much to go off of, if I'm honest, but I had a list of the fighters. I had a list of the fights as they were happening. No actual weights of what they weighed in at. A lot of what was written down on the paper was either their hometown or their gym, so that I'd rather say where they're from rather than their gym, so I had to run around and get where they're actually from. A lot of the people that competed had some difficult names to pronounce, so I had to go ask them how to pronounce it, right, and then write it down in bad guy lingo so that I can sound it out myself. But other than that, I just kind of flew by the seat of my pants.
But there's a couple layers to this I wanted to talk about, the whole provincial stuff. It was an okay event. You know, it was done by our local boxing club. I think there's a lot of holes, a lot of stuff we need to improve. But, you know, a couple things I wanted to talk to you about. First thing, was what happened with Hunter, your nephew that was scheduled for a fight, and you've been training for a long time. You have a personal vested interest in him, and I'm really concerned about his maybe motivation. So I thought maybe this fight would really send him over the top. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
We showed up at weigh-ins. He weighed in at 41.3 kilograms. So he was in the under 43 class.
Okay, I'm going to stop you.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm stopping you right now because I was in the other room kind of with the fighters while you're in a coaching meeting. And when that was happening, there's a little bit of rumbling. Something happened with the weight. I don't know. And one of the coaches from Regina had something to say to the bad guy.
So what the original plan was is Hunter fought a kid named Luke.
Okay.
At Golden Gloves. Now, Luke and his parents and his coach have been talking all kinds of shit that they didn't understand why the fight was stopped. Now, if these people, I'm not going to call them idiots or disrespect them or anything like that, if they actually went back and watched the video, they'd probably understand why the fight was stopped. But you can't say you want a rematch, and then when your son comes in, and he comes in 2.5 pounds heavier than he was before, he's 0.1 over the weight class. So they bumped him up to the next weight class to fight. And now this kid that wants to fight my nephew, he gets a provincial title shot coming off a loss.
Oh.
So then Moses piped off and said, well, maybe you should have made weight.
And Moses is one of the coaches from the other.
Yeah. And I got pissed, obviously, because my guy made weight.
Okay.
Hunter made weight. He was on weight. Then the commission chimed in and said, Hunter's not the problem, Moses.
Right.
Hunter made weight for that class.
Now, a funny thing happened directly after that. After I saw you coming out steam, I can read your body language pretty good. You come steaming in the other room, under control. And then one of the head commission, or I don't know what his position, looked at you and under his breath said, I'm glad you said something. Yeah. He does this all the time.
Yeah.
And so after kind of going over it with you and kind of getting the gist of it, every right you had to be mad. It was nice not to be on the receiving end for once. So I find a little bit of humor in that. But he did make an attempt to apologize to you after.
He did apologize to me. He wasn't trying to be disrespectful. Or maybe he's just a douche in regular life.
However, you were very hesitant.
Of course I was going to kill him.
On the handshake.
Okay, so when this went down, there was a line of people between me and him. Now, his name is Moses, but I parted the Red Sea. Everybody fucking moved.
Silence for a reason. I'm not saying shit.
I was mad. But if you're going to pipe off, at least have some knowledge as to what you're going to pipe off about. Like, that was my problem with it, is... If he had a reason to pipe off to me, like my guy came in overweight, sure, fine, I'll take it. Yeah, okay. My bad.
Now, and after all this is said and done, what happened was, this seems a new problem for me, is all these fighters came. I saw a bunch of guys cutting weight, get on the rope. A lot of guys turned around and drove home. What is that with boxing? Or is that a new thing with boxing?
Unfortunately, we had 54 competitors show up.
Okay.
We ended up having, I think, 10 fights. 2 of them were sparring matches. But as a provincial tournament, the guys have to make a certain weight class to compete.
Okay.
Right? So they have to be within a certain amount of each other. And even, like, say there's 2 guys at 42 kilograms, but one has 12 fights and another one has 2. The commission's not letting that fight happen. It's not happening. Too much experience.
Okay.
So they have to line up and make sense. Didn't happen. So we went from 20 fights down to 9.
What are the criteria specifically? Age,
so
experience?
There's age, experience, weight.
Right.
That's basically it. And then the coaches have to agree. So they tried to get Hunter to do a sparring match with a guy that was 14 pounds heavier than him.
Right.
And I said no.
You don't. No warrior spirit. Get in there, fuck him up. Let's go. Whatever weight. Let's do it.
So what I'm looking at is the long haul.
Okay.
So he gets in there. It's a sparring match, but like we saw in that Emil sparring match last night, one guy got fucked up.
Right.
Like he was bleeding. He got rocked. So what I don't want to happen is Hunter gets clipped by a kid that's 14 pounds heavier than him, 2 years older, taller, longer reach.
Stronger person, yeah.
What's the worst thing that's going to happen? He's going to get a concussion and then he's out for.
Well, worse thing. What's the best thing? Like nothing. There's nothing good that can come out of it.
There's nothing good that comes out of that.
Right.
So we'll sit him for this one. We'll take him to Medicine Hat in January to Bronze Gloves, and we'll go do work there.
Well, what about that argument with one of our senior students, Jesse Kitchen, who's 42 years old and 182 pounds? He didn't take a sparring match.
Jesse texted me about it, and I said, listen, if you're not into it, don't do it. Why?
Okay.
If in your brain, because he said in his brain right now, he's not into it. If you're not 100% into it, don't do it.
Okay. I just thought you would have been more aggressive on the push with Jesse because there's not a lot of fights for a guy his age and our population density.
Why would I push a guy to go spar with a guy that's half his age?
Was he half his age? Okay.
He's got nothing to prove. He wants to get in there and compete with somebody in his weight class, his age. Okay, well, let's wait.
Okay. So that was kind of the weigh-in stuff, but we talked, and there was another little situation that happened that one of the senior board members of Saskatchewan Boxing pulled you aside and looked like he was made some sort of request to be a member of. I'm not sure.
He asked me to take his spot.
On what? What are you referencing?
The Saskatchewan Boxing Board.
Okay. You don't look, from looking at you right now, you don't look impressed. You don't look like you care or you're interested or what? Or is that something you'd be...
I told him if there's a place where I can go to make some differences for the better in boxing Saskatchewan, I'll 100% go do it.
Okay.
If there's not, then I won't do it. But if I have a say and I can change something, then perfect.
So you're not interested, just a title to have it?
I don't give a fuck about what the fuck do I care about that?
That's why I'm throwing it out there.
Do not care.
Do not care. All right. So it was our provincials this weekend. We kind of touched on the fights. The fights were okay. I was running around like a chicken with its heads cut off. I didn't get to watch the fights as close as I wanted to. Approximately 200 people showed up. It was better than last year. A lot of holes. I think a lot of things we can improve on. From your vantage point, you were doing the master ceremony, so we had two different angles on it, but kind of.
I thought Big Shrek got robbed last night in that final fight.
Big Shrek is a fighter out of Weyburn, Saskatchewan. He's a little overweight. I forgot his name slips me if he's listening.
Oh, Pikachu was his last name. Because that was the fucking one I had the hardest time with. I had to write it down.
He's been at every event that I've ever been to, and he throws down, but he's a heavier set fellow. And if you guys think I'm pasty, get a load of this guy, man.
He's native.
Oddly enough.
Motherfucker can fight, though.
I hope we're referencing the same guy.
Last fight of the night.
Oh, okay. Maybe not. Okay, I'm talking about somebody else.
Oh, okay.
You're talking the last. What was it? The Pikachu and the two.
Just call him Pikachu.
I think I did.
Pikachu was in the last fight.
Okay,
yeah.
I was talking about the guy, the heavier set guy, Blue from Weyburn. So we're talking about two different stuff.
Yeah.
But go on. Those guys throw down. Who won that in the end?
The other guy did. Wetutny.
Okay. I don't know. In Saskatchewan, there's a strong population of Native Americans that fight, and they can throw down. I don't know what they're doing in these smaller communities, but
you're talking about Blue that was like punching himself in the face.
Yeah, he was getting a standard 8 count, and he was punching himself.
He got fucked up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. He should not have won.
We're bouncing around two different fights. The
Yeah.
reference to the first fight we were referencing is a guy in blue that was punching himself from Weyburn and heavy stuff. I know. I think he's got it. I don't think he has a winning record.
White as shit.
White, man.
White.
Like the ring girls were making fun of me, telling me that guy's actually whiter than I am, and his legs look like he's a corpse from the Addams Family.
Bro, that guy could take a shot though, because we're talking guys in the 91 plus kilogram category, so these guys are well over 200 pounds.
And I think when you look at our demographic, who's in the crowd, that's what they want to see.
They're big dudes? Yeah.
Just dummies punching themselves in the head and big haymakers. That's kind of what we're doing at this kind of demographic in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. We're not. They don't understand what a good quality amateur fight looks like that. So to have something like that, as we can mock it, and which we are in a positive, funny way, but that's what got the crowd, because we had some younger guys throwing on clinics at a little weight class, and people were too busy slamming their
I'll
ride.
tell you what fight of the night was the first fight of the evening. That was an actual fight. That was Deshonda and little Braveheart.
Braveheart, right? What, Courtney? Forgive me, I forget her names.
I can't remember. Sydney.
Sydney, that is right. Sydney. They put on a good show every time, and the secret's out. I'm gonna break some news. That club is not from Saskatchewan.
No.
So I think they're somewhere outside.
Yeah, they are. A
Yeah.
little bit. I said they were from Saskatchewan.
Yeah. I think they slid in somehow. So, but the great thing about those two is
They're friends.
they're friends, and they throw down like friends, and
Dash busted her up last night too. Little Sydney was bleeding.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I thought it was pretty even, and I thought it was. I still think that other girl's a little better, technique wise.
I scored it myself. I thought Deshonda won.
Right.
It was obviously a fun box, so they're both winners.
Yeah. It kind of brings us into now that we kind of covered the fights, like that was the first time they brought the local media crew in.
Now, are we going to talk about Jaden, or are we going to leave that one?
Jaden, that's a great fight. I was out getting ice, and I missed it.
Jaden got finished.
And he had a little mild freak out in the change room, in the judo room, where they were the warm up again. They had to talk him down from the cliff.
Yeah.
So Jaden is one of our teenage,
Super talented.
super talented. Got a history of boxing with his dad. He suited him out in a full gear before the fight. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Has the red dragon headband, very like our friend Steve Claggett.
Easy fucking Curry kid.
I like it. It makes me smile. But talented kid. I didn't get to see the fight. Tell me about it.
He just didn't put it together last night. That's all that happened. You remember how we were working on pivoting and not going straight back?
Sure,
And
sure.
That's just what happened.
There's a clearly disappointment on your face.
It's boxing, man. Anything can happen. Hopefully he
I
doesn't.
can't handle these swings, man.
Hopefully he doesn't.
He said he was going to quit his job to focus more on boxing.
That's what he told my wife.
Yeah.
Do I agree with that? No.
No.
I think that's the dumbest thing you could do.
Well, there's just not enough fights for him locally.
Well, there is in the season, but you got to remember when amateur season ends, the boxing club shuts down.
Yeah.
And then the bad guy takes over, and
Right.
you guys do what I do.
Right.
But realistically, do I think that you should quit your job? No. Do I think that you should ask for a schedule where you could make boxing Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Yes. But what you can't do is you can't show up twice in 2 weeks and think you can jump into the ring and fight. Now, I've had this conversation, but it continues to keep happening.
His attendance did improve. I'm going to say that on his defense.
Pardon me?
His attendance did improve since you did that talk.
Yeah, but not good enough.
Yes.
So I told them, if you don't, I'm not cornering you.
Okay.
I won't do it. If you want to have the reward, you got to put the work in. If you don't put the work in, then why the fuck would I reward you?
Right.
It's not my call, though. At the end of the day, I'm not the head coach of the gym.
And maybe we have a... Yeah.
Well, I can't support it. If I didn't put in a full fight camp for a fight, why would I step in the ring? Right? It doesn't make any sense. You have the other person standing across the ring from you is just as skilled, put in more work.
Right.
Great fuck.
The only issue I really have with the whole Jaden fight is just because he's such a fragile in the head. If he was just a meathead that just, I lost, I'll get back in the gym, train harder. Like, that guy's spinning right now. And I hope he just...
Listen, I hope he just keeps showing up to the gym. Let's work on the mental space.
Yeah.
And see if we can't transfer the mental space into the talent space.
And that's a great comment, because that's something they never teach you in Boxing 101, that you're going to have a kid that the mental stuff is you don't learn that by doing, 1-2s on the heavy bag.
No.
That's learned, elsewhere.
I do it all the time with the kid next door.
Yeah.
When you're a boxing coach, you're half boxing coach, half Dr. Phil.
Absolutely. And, that's why relationships with boxing MMA coaches we've seen get so salty in the past.
Yeah.
More recently with the Don Cerrone thing and the Mike Perry thing, and all when people leave gyms, it's like you're leaving your father, you're leaving your dad. Because the problem I've heard from fighters is like those coaches know everything about me, and then they yip off to my competition, where I sleep, my weak points are, even my mental game problems. So yeah, that's another thing they don't talk about, and something that as a boxing coach you don't ever think that would be part of your resume per se, is doing that kind of stuff.
Well, I think part of what we're lacking here at our gym is the family atmosphere. Like where I come from, any gym I've ever gone to has been we're family.
Right.
Like we all get like we fight.
Sure.
But we all get along. We all hang out together.
Right. I grew up like that too.
You know
it was
what I'm
very
saying?
Personal. And it was very.
I'm just going to be blatantly honest. I don't give a flying fuck who's listening to this show today. But what we have at our gym right now is 3 different sectors.
Okay.
Right? We have Nick, we have Dustin, and we have Chad.
All coaches at our school.
All coaches.
All
and
coaching.
then me. I just fly by the seat of my pants.
Sure.
So I just fucking do whatever.
And everybody individually has their own fan base.
They all have all their different kind of people, right? Like we got the kettlebells, we've got the Muay Thai, we've got the boxing.
Sure.
Why can't we all
train together? Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Like,
and you're missing another even segment too. Is like there's a female coach that we have zero communication with. Tessa.
Realistically, we don't have anything to do with that class.
I know. No, nor do I want to. And that's the thing. I'm not family. I'm just like
I support it.
Yeah,
100%. I think it's an amazing idea.
Well,
do I think that they should be brought into the fighters area? No.
Right.
But like we've got a fantastic coach in Chad.
Right.
Great boxing mind. Great on pads. Great ideas. But he's off on his own somewhere else.
Right.
And then we've got Nick, who's got great ideas, runs good classes, cardio and all that. And we've got him over here. But then we've got Dustin, strength and conditioning, that kind of stuff. And we're all on separate nights.
Right.
So I just... realistically, if we had all the minds in there at once...
Right. Which you fought for before meetings.
I fought for it.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a way better atmosphere where, he said this and he's... fuck that. That's not the game. The game is to come together and let's put all of our heads together and get something done.
Because there's quite frankly students in, let's say, the Muay Thai school that don't even know who their fellow teammates are.
No idea.
Yeah.
Like, let's have sparring night.
Right.
And we'll come in to the Muay Thai guy. I'll put fucking shin pads on. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If I kick you in the face, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I think that we could improve that aspect.
The team, yeah.
Like, let's make it a team. Let's not be segregated and
with that separation comes what's the word? Not back talk, but ignorance on like I don't know. He said, she said stuff.
Well, that's the problem. Is it turns into broken telephone, right?
Yeah,
well,
right.
Well, Tanner said this, but Nick said this, and Dustin said this. It doesn't make sense.
That's right.
Because we all actually like each other.
Right.
Like, all of us get along just fine. Like, do I say dumb shit? Yes.
And do I do
all the time?
I do dumb shit.
I do dumb shit.
I do, yeah.
Does Nick do dumb shit? Probably. I don't fucking know. I don't know what he does in his personal life. Does he say dumb shit? Probably. Does Dustin say dumb shit? Probably.
I fully admit. Yeah.
Well, we're all a bunch of goofballs.
Right. But we're making the best of it.
Yeah. But I think that's the one thing we could improve on here is let's turn it into a team and not be so segregated.
Yeah. But we did have the TV crew there at the fights. Which kind of I don't know if they're filming locally for the local event. We had Chad. We were talking about doing some commentating. Now, one of the TV guys came up to you and said something about live commentary or something.
Yeah, they've never done a boxing show before.
Oh.
So they thought that they wanted to know when I would turn my microphone on and talk to the audience while the fight's going on. I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. I thought he was fucking with me, so I started fucking with him. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Get out of here.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm like, no, we don't do that. Like when you do a hockey event, do the commentators talk to the audience?
No,
they watch the hockey game, right? So it's the same difference.
Yeah.
Could you imagine me just piping off on a microphone while guys are getting punched in the face?
It was funny because it's no secret that you're a very vocal guy at the club, at the studio, and some of the parents were like, when they heard you're in the master's ceremonies, there was an ongoing what do you call it, a betting tab to see how many F-bombs would come out.
Listen, you bunch of pussies. How do you want to fuck off?
So we were all worried about if you were going to get mad and pissed off or throw the mic in the crowd and storm off, but it wasn't the case at all. You did a really good job.
Listen, I can be professional when I want to.
And you did a good job, and I'll say that.
Thank you.
And it went over well. And seems like that, speaking of the audiovisual team, the local news stations fell in love with you.
Yeah, they really liked my hat.
Which is on me. We are halfway done the new store. So let me interject on that. And we're just getting some new promo shots. We got a new camera. The studio got a new, the podcast studio got a new camera. So we're just setting up. We got a new hat line coming out, new shirt line coming out. And we do have two back orders that I know of that are due out. So I apologize on that.
Speaking of that, if anybody, any female from Swift Current, Saskatchewan is listening to this, big, small, short, tall, I don't give a fuck. Hit me up because we need models for our new shirts.
Right. And yeah.
Or male. Except for
model.
you, Jonah.
Yeah, Jonah Lebosque, talking to you. Yeah, we do,
I might take my shirt off and
you
just
do,
throw a
and
shirtless
hey,
selfie.
man, you did a couple shoots the other day. You're looking ripped, man.
I'm in good shape right now. I'm actually surprised.
Yeah. I never knew you when you weren't in shape, but
Yeah, you did. When I first came into the gym, I was 240 pounds.
I see you too often to see the difference. You know what I
Oh.
mean? Like it's like if seeing somebody every day, but you never blew up in your life. Never got fatty, fat McFat.
243 is the biggest, I think.
And that was when your knee was fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was
It's uncomfortable. I don't like it.
were you fat in your face or on your body?
Did you see the Instagram post that I put up?
I no.
The tarps off, shirts off selfie? That's as big as I've ever been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
I seem to carry it well.
Yeah,
It disperses all over my body instead of just, I don't get a big boiler or anything like that. Look like fucking Randy from Trailer Park Boys.
yeah, and maybe I always thought that kind of stomach was to do with booze, but no.
No, it's whatever. Like when you see the guys with the big round pot bellies
That's
and they're
booze.
hard, that's booze. Like you're
Yeah.
a drunk fuck. You need to stop.
You see that in
Stop
these-
drinking so much.
you see that in Saskatchewan, that kind of
There,
stuff.
there is somebody I will shout out today because I kicked the shit out of this guy for weeks as Jesse Kitchen.
Okay,
I beat the fuck out of him a couple times.
okay.
And he took it like a champ. I told him I'm not signing off on you fighting unless you fucking pull your socks up.
And Jesse Kitchen is that senior boxer, a 43-year-old 180-pounder that is in our club.
He pulled his socks up. He got down to 172.
Yeah, and he looked sharp, and he came in and he kept coming back.
Wow.
I have footage that I was filming that I couldn't post because it would be unfair to Jesse, but not in a negative way. But the guy was in there giving it with you, and you're
Yeah.
giving it back. So out of respect to Jesse, like you said, props to him, man. You know.
Yeah, I hit him hard a couple times.
The guy put in
body
extra
and-
work. He brought in he brought in some big sponsors to the provincials, and he brought in let's be honest, some of those RBC volunteers are smoke shows.
I don't know if his kids like him very much. Like I gotta tell you that because his daughter found our post of me hitting him with that Superman punch
Oh,
on the Final
correct.
Shot podcast and liked it.
And he wrote "Dick" under
Yeah.
it after he posted. So yeah, if you do check out for our Final Shot podcast Facebook page. There is Jesse is in the red with the black headgear getting a Superman punch by Tanner, which is quite funny.
Yeah,
But
so this podcast is basically generated around our small little community here this week because we got to talk about it.
granted, there's something to be said about about
Now, I will say that I thought the event last night was better than Golden Gloves.
okay,
Yeah, I thought it was put on better. We had walkout music. We had a full size ring.
right.
Fucking, there wasn't some gangster sounding dude doing the
That one guy
Jesus
was fucking
Christ.
shit.
Dennis Page, don't ever get on the microphone ever again. You Tennessee fuck.
Yeah. I do like the sound of Golden Gloves, though. That sounds good. It has some weight to it. Golden Gloves has
Of course
weight
it does,
to it. It has
but
weight.
we have a Golden Gloves champion next door in his first ever fight.
Yeah, I get it. But so I don't know. I didn't do any social media, from either live posting or pictures this time. I was running around.
You're having an issue with social media right now, right?
Right, Tanner, I'm exhausted with it all. I'm really
tough.
just tired of the effort sometimes we both put in. If we have a little powwow before class, getting shots, setting up combos, getting different angles, putting in the sponsor's name, and to have a 10-second video, which can take me an hour of clipping it, finding it, color correcting it, putting it up there, to be put on a story, to have a guy swipe over in 10 seconds. It's tired. And I maybe I'm just in a bad mood this week with this whole social media stuff. But, and then not only that, each individual platform requires certain video sizes versus certain techniques versus tagging techniques, and requires, and I quite frankly go on YouTube tutorials to read each one how to tag properly. Facebook requires a certain thing, and then they have new features now called Premiere, and they have a new feature here where you can geo-target now. So if I not want to target by a keyword, say boxing, Swift Current, I can target by location. 50 kilometers away from me, 100 kilometers away from me.
That's Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Facebook, geotarget this.
Yeah. And then we got Instagram too, where we, my goal, part of the new year was to get on this Instagram TV stuff.
Yeah.
Which YouTube has just launched stories. YouTube stories now. So
It's too much.
and now we've abandoned Twitter. And
Fuck Twitter.
And we haven't even adopted Snapchat yet.
Fuck Snapchat.
I can't have that attitude.
Listen, my 13-year-old nephew has Snapchat. Do you know what he gets on that thing? Fucking grown women sending him fucking tit shots.
Okay, we'll sign up tomorrow. We'll be signed up and live by
He's
tomorrow.
13, and 25-year-old women are sending him breast shots. Listen, you stupid fucks.
So
That's borderline fucking statutory.
yeah,
Like,
I don't know, but I'm just saying. While I might be a little, it was a nice taking a social media break, and nice, just for one day at a fight where I'm not live streaming or putting stuff up or setting up camera angles or worrying about, because right now, this new age of social media, we used to get really horny about views. Now for us to really monetize our sponsors or give sponsors, they want engagement, so they're looking at comments now, not so much. Oh, you got 1,000 views. That's great. You can buy those. How many people are commenting? How many times are you commenting back? I want engagement. So not only are we putting out this content, I got to sit and go back and forth with, troll number 8 or fucking whatever dude. And
I'm not doing it.
Well, then, that type, we have to at this point.
Straight up.
And that kind of brings me to, speaking of social media, I don't know if the podcast people know about this guy. I don't know much about him. I'm going to be straight up. Daniel Redfern. Who is this guy?
Holy fuck.
Who is he? How
The
does he...
creepy gay Jew.
What's his relationship to the podcast? Why is he on your stories at all? I follow you, and I just see this shit come up with... and I don't know anything about it. Tell me about him. What's going
So
on?
Daniel Redfern first started sniffing around. Daniel Redfern, he first started sniffing around in when Boogeyman, with the Boogeyman.
Oh, Adam Braidwood.
Yeah.
Right.
So then he caught wind that Adam Braidwood had his own little spot on the Spice of Life podcast, 10 Minutes with the Boogeyman.
Okay.
And then he figured out who I was.
Okay. Which is not...
Which is fine.
1 and 1, right.
So then it started the social media thing. Then we find out that Daniel Redfern is a gay Jew.
Fine.
Which is fine. Cool, man.
Funny, though. Can we throw
It's
that out there?
hilarious.
It's fucking funny.
Okay. So then we bring Dario Berdician in with the Super Mario Dario minute.
Right,
And
okay.
then holy fuck, shit went sideways because Daniel started stalking Dario.
Dario's a good-looking kid. Let's just throw that
Nice
out.
guy, too.
Yeah.
He'll interact with you, which is cool.
Okay.
And so then we ended up having to block Daniel. He had to get put in timeout because he was making fun of Dario's girlfriend. Like, he was jealous. He full on sent me a message that he was jealous of Dario's
So you guys have an active Twitter or active, pardon me,
Instagram. Yeah. It's very active. And then somehow Dario decides he's going to give Daniel Redfern my fucking phone number.
hilarious too. Come on, we got to
Listen, that's a low fucking blow, man.
That's Geico totally broken there.
That's a real low blow. So I didn't know that Daniel had my phone number, so my phone's ringing, and it's from America. I'm like, okay, well, there's only a couple people that I talk to in America on a regular basis. That's Dario Berdician and Anthony Chiappetta, and maybe Bruno might call me from time to time. So I was like, I don't know this. Now maybe it's Anthony. I'll answer it. Fuck it. I like Anthony. He's a cool dude. And I hear the ghost of Michael Jackson on the other line. Hi, Tanner.
Oh man!
Like, oh my God, who the fuck is this?
I just see that Hi Tanner as a meme or
Hi,
a loop.
Tanner.
And
It's Daniel. I was like, oh my. Hour later, like Daniel's fucking dick riding me on the phone for an hour.
you know, whatever the situation is, he does support the podcast.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, again, I don't know him, but
He's got an amazing sense of humor because all that bullshit I put on, he thinks it's fucking hilarious.
but there's something too that he brings to the table is maybe his artwork a little bit.
Fantastic artist.
Tell me about that. What is artwork? He does oil painting.
Oil paintings. He'll do digital paintings and stuff like that too. But yeah, he creepily.
Is he a rich? Too much time.
I think he's got a lot of money. And too
he's
much
all
time
there.
On his hands.
Is he a normal
He's a normal Jew, man.
Yeah.
That motherfucker don't tip.
He won't tip, but he'll like our stuff all day.
He'll like our stuff all day. At the end of the day, Daniel, we're not having sex.
Okay.
You're not gonna fuck me.
All right.
So I had to put Daniel in a little bit of a timeout.
Like if you're sending him dick pics, that's your business.
It would never ever come to that.
Even fake ones.
No, that would be hilarious. So just like a fucking giant hammer in your inbox.
Yeah, hey man.
But yeah, I had to put Daniel in a slight timeout because he was very aggressive with his messaging me. Like it was 7 messages in fucking 10 seconds. Okay, Daniel, I can't respond to you. I'm gonna go bang my wife now. Like I would literally
say that.
I would literally say I'm gonna go like lick my wife's vagina. Can you please leave me alone?
Right. And
ew, Tanner.
Oh God. This is making me feel uncomfortable, and I'm a.
But yeah, so Daniel's cool, man. He's just boundaries. Boundaries, Daniel.
Yeah. And, you know, getting onto this whole, I was referencing social media exhausting before. Your partner in crime, your best friend in the world, Mr. Adam, the Boogeyman Braidward, seems to be back on.
The Boogeyman's back.
And, man, he's relentless on the Instagram.
He doesn't stop, bro.
Does he not have cable? Does he not have...
I can't disclose anything about Adam Braidwood until January 1st, 2019.
Okay. So I knew he...
But I'll tell you this, he's bored.
Okay. Because it is, this. If you're not following him, it's, what is his Instagram handle, Tanner?
At Braidwood Boxing.
And if you please follow him, he's Tanner's best friend, and he's helped the podcast a lot over the years. And
he'll be back in the new year at 10 Minutes with the Boogeyman.
His social media is entertaining, and
it's funny.
It's funny.
It's exhausting because I do a lot of work for that.
Yeah, and I remember having your wife tell me about the efforts you put in the past with the Simon Heath stuff, 3 in the morning memes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I sit here and complain how it's exhausting doing stuff for you at times, which is not 1/10 of what you had to do for Adam. You know.
Well, along with the Final Shot podcast,
Yeah.
Instagram, my own Instagram,
Yeah.
my kids.
Yeah.
Because the Boogie Child has a cult following.
Okay, I wasn't aware.
The Boogie Child has a cult following of people in fucking Russia, of all things.
Okay.
They love her.
Okay, so okay.
Like that clown one where she's walking like
Sure,
The Exorcist.
sure.
They love that.
Okay.
They think she's a fucking weirdo.
Wow, I don't know what kind of that's scary, man. But you know, we got Daniel doing this Braidwood's back, and you know, another kind of social media thing that kind of, because it's no secret that I'm a Spicer fan. One of the few Spicer fans in the world.
Jesus
Christ, and I can get myself kicked off this podcast immediately for saying that. There was a little bit of friction with you and him this week, maybe? No? Yes? I just thought I saw something. I saw you edited his face out of the picture.
Hey, if you're not involved anymore, you gotta go.
I get it, man.
You love Luke Spicer.
I don't.
Realistically, I don't hate Luke. I like Luke. Luke's a nice guy. I like fucking with him more than I actually like him as a person.
I get it, and that's why I don't even think you kind of gave away the joke.
But somebody called Luke Spicer out because they want a rematch with him. Mark Hiley Wedderburn
Okay, I don't know.
called the Spice out. He says he'll go back to kickboxing to fight Luke Spicer.
Wow.
Luke Spicer's retired, Mark Hiley.
And a vegan. Which
And
is
a vegan. Life's fucking over, bro. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of fighting, man, after the provincials last night, I ripped home and caught the end of the Max Holloway Brian Ortega fight. Did you hear anything?
I haven't watched it yet, but
Please do.
I heard Max Holloway put on a clinic.
Yeah, most significant strikes in a round. And it was just amazing to see. It was a striking match for sure. A lot of stuff that I could learn and apply to my boxing.
Was there no opportunity in that fight for Brian Ortega to take it to the floor? That's where he shines.
He was stunned. He was getting lit up. His face. They called it the fourth round. Also, his ego got in the way. He wanted to go toe to toe.
He got fucked up.
Yeah,
Why would you let your ego get in the way in the biggest fight of your career? You're fighting for the UFC title.
I'm gonna
jump guard, motherfucker. Jump guard.
Now I'll play your game. Let's go.
No.
I'll fucking do it. Let's go.
Fuck that. Yes. Jump guard, bitch.
Fuck you. Stand up with me, motherfucker. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So it was fun to watch, and
Joanna and Jacek got fucked up too.
Yeah, I like her secretly. I like.
I
her.
have a secret crush on her actually. I don't
she's
know why.
Right. And speaking of secret crushes, your boy, I can't say his last name. Starts with T. Theodorus.
Elias Theodoro?
Yeah.
Fucking dime piece.
Yeah, man. He gives me a man woody, that guy.
He's the fucking brunette Fabio, man. He's a fucking dime piece.
He's on
and he's super nice.
Yeah. I know he was on the podcast before my time, and he's a few times. He does a cool little YouTube show. And
CBD fucking advocate.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, huge CBD advocate.
His wife's a smoke show, too.
Oh, yeah, dime piece.
And, so yeah, he won his fight too. So
good for him.
Yeah, it was nice to see that. And
I was really pushing for an Elias Theodoro versus Ryan James matchup a little while ago. I want to see that fight.
I'm not familiar with Ryan James.
Ryan James is one of my former training partners in Victoria, BC from Zuma Martial Arts. I don't know if he's retired now. I know he just had a baby. Congratulations, Ryan. But they're both in the same weight class, both Canadian guys.
Think something could happen.
Let's see what happens.
Right. Tanner, that's it for me. We've done the provincials. We've done some, there's actually one thing I didn't want to talk to you about, and it was kind of near the end. Two things.
Okay.
There was a little conspiracy going on around the provincials that you tried to sabotage it by telling the Black Star Boxing people not to come.
Who the fuck said that?
That's why I have friends in dark, low places, man. I can't tell you that.
Listen, Chad Selkirk and I are friends.
Okay.
No, I did not tell them not to come. The Black Star, so I'll give you a little background on what happens in boxing around Christmas.
Okay.
Or people that train. So gym dues are due December 1st. Usually boxing gyms or gyms close down for 2 weeks. So you guys usually just take an extra 2 weeks off, don't pay their gym dues, and then just don't show up to the gym for the month of December. Come back January 1st in the new year and get cracking again. That's what happened at Black Star.
Okay. And then this one I was gonna skip, but it was gonna be brought up.
But hey, I'm gonna tell all those fucking pussies at Black Star, don't fuck Chad Selkirk around like that. Show up, pay your fucking gym dues, and don't be a bunch of bitches and support your gym.
Okay, so that is total bullshit then.
What?
Was that the whole conspiracy?
Yeah, no.
You told him not to come.
No, I did. Who the fuck said that? Whoever said that, I'm gonna punch out.
This last one, let's talk about it. It's been really weighing heavy on me. We had a little incident, myself and you.
We're gonna talk about that?
I really didn't want to. I don't have the ability to talk about it, but I'll talk about it because it makes good podcasts. But it took me a while to be able to talk about it on this level or even communicate because it just bringing up feelings. Are you
gonna get angry?
Yeah, I'm going to get angry, and what makes me angry is how you're laughing like this right now. And what happened was I was doing pad works with Jaden, who unfortunately lost, and he went to do a 1-2-3 combo to the body. I was wearing a belly pad. And what happened was he was going hard. Tanner was coaching him, and he was really out to impress Tanner. And when he went to do, he clocked me in the face. and I was
It
hurt.
was a punch he wasn't supposed to throw.
I was hurt emotionally, more so. And Tanner laughed like he is now, so loud that it silenced the class, and he was the only one laughing. I was so pissed off at the time. Not only that you were laughing at me, mocking me, that my friend was insulting me at my time.
I wasn't mocking you.
It was, again, like perception is
Yeah.
different. So I felt, you fucking asshole. And I was hurt, and I kind of said something I regret, and I apologize.
I don't know what you said. I don't remember.
No, it wasn't worth it. It was funny at the time, and I was hurt.
I know I called you a bitch.
Yeah, and I was hurt about it at the time.
Not physically, but like
that was fucking
personally.
guy clocked me in the face in the front of the class, and you're laughing at me, you motherfucker. And it's not funny, man. It's not fucking funny. Nobody else in the class is laughing. Nobody else is laughing. You're sitting here laughing. Check on my well-being, and then we'll laugh together, because it is funny. And I'm upset now. It is fucking funny, but I'm hurt, and my eyes are watering, and my nose is fucking big right now, and I don't want to fucking do this anymore. Fuck you. So that was that. As you can see, it affected me more than it affected.
Yeah, you were fired up about it.
So yeah, we had and it kind of made. I went over to apologize after I was out of line. Insults to me, I mean, the apologies is never as loud as the insult. So I was worried personally that it's gonna be weird forever now.
No, fuck.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be weird.
I don't.
So I'm like this fucking. I fucking did something I regret, and so we're cool now. But that was weight on me where I couldn't train that day. I was jumbled in my head, and I
you get locked up in your brain too much, man. I don't know how the fuck you guys do that.
I don't know. It's fucking weird.
But here's what was funny about it. It wasn't the fact that you got hit. It was the look on your face of pure shock.
I was like, fuck. Yeah.
Where did he hit you?
It was just a fucking the old one in the middle. It was
right in the mouth.
16-ounce glove from a 14-year-old kid. Shut the fuck up! It didn't hurt. You're right.
Exactly, it didn't hurt.
It didn't
I knew
hurt.
you weren't hurt.
I know.
But why? Oh, hey Derek, are you okay?
No, just no. I didn't. He wasn't even done retracting the punch, and you're already laughing on your stomach.
I didn't even see it. I heard it. I heard the boom. I was like,
right.
oh shit! And then Derek's face is just
fuck. And then I'm chirping off at you, and you're like, "Suck it up, you little bitch." And you're right. You know,
I was ready to fight. Though.
Yeah, I was like, I'm in
you
shit.
motherfucker.
Like, so that was happened on Tuesday night, and it fucked me up right to Thursday, where I didn't even go to
didn't answer my texts,
and I didn't even come to your sparring class on Thursday. I was so pissed off. I went
right
to
that mad?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, come on, man. You're
pissed?
pissed?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. So again, that stuff happens in boxing, and then kind of I ran into the change room, and I was kind of still fuming, and you're like, dude, I've seen that a million times. That's why I'm not.
I've seen it so many times.
You
I've
know?
been hit.
I know. So, like, don't be a fucking pussy about it. And I was like,
I've been dropped.
Yeah.
Holding pads. Like, oh, fucking missed that body shot. Sorry, Tanner. That's your liver. Fuck.
Yeah. So, those are the two things I wanted to save to the end of the podcast to talk about. One, I should have got this out of the way probably a lot on the podcast in a public forum like this, but more in a private
Now
forum.
It's funny, though. I wish it was
on funny, video. And it'll be something we can laugh about, but at that point in time, I'll determine when it's funny, not you. That's my attitude. No. You have no right to laugh at me, motherfucker. You hold a pad and get punched, and you're like, dude, I have, by the way, 1,000 times, so shut up.
I've been doing this 20 years, man. You think that hasn't happened to me at least a dozen times? Fuck. So, KO Boxing 84 is coming up, Edmonton, Alberta.
We're going.
December 14th, we are going. I have a job assignment.
Ooh, what's the job assignment?
So myself and Vincent Tremblay are going to make actual boxing history.
And who is Vincent Tremblay? Vincent
Tremblay is he is a play-by-play commentator.
Okay.
He does hockey and all kinds of different things. I believe he has done boxing before. But we will be doing the live commentary on punchinggrace.com.
Whoa. That's a big deal.
It's a big deal, yeah. But it will be the first ever show that will be commentated in French and English.
Bilingual.
I'm going to say every French word I know.
You tabernacle, whatever, fucking croissant, burger.
Whatever we got.
Yeah.
Lino Santoro has been all over me now because they have family, the actual famous family in Quebec. Mike Bossy used to play in the NHL.
Of course. Yeah. That's old
So
school.
his wife, that's her uncle. So he's been, can you shout out Mike? Can you shout out Mike? Listen, Lino, if I fucking remember, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But last night, people were throwing things at me all night, like Briar and Tana. Can you say this? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I gotta write it down, and then I gotta talk about this asshole over here and this asshole over here. Yeah, get your fucking 50-50 tickets and Mike Bossy. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I miss something? Probably. Am I gonna miss something Friday night? 100%. Is it gonna be a good time? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be an interesting trip.
Your voice is gonna hold up?
I don't know. I lost my voice last night.
Okay,
It was so fucking dry.
It was dry in there, 100%. I was handing you water like a motherfucker. I must get four of those little 500 ml bottles in 20 minutes.
Some fucking cunt kept stealing them.
Oh, is that what was going on? I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
what the fuck's going on with these waters?
So I drink half of it, and then some asshole would come by and steal it. There'd be 4 on the table. I drink one of them. The other 3 are gone. I'm like, I was more worried about some fucking rig pig drugging me.
But I think this is a bigger deal, and I don't want to let it slide by on this podcast. You will be doing a commentator for Punching Grace
Yes.
for the KO Boxing.
It's a big card, man. Like
First of many, hopefully, or is this
hopefully we can keep the ball rolling with this and maybe go out and do some shows in Quebec and stuff like that. That would be cool. I think for Punching Grace to do the bilingual commentary on their streaming service that will be available worldwide, it would be smart to have English commentary.
Yeah, you referenced it, and we had a talk off air how important that is about that.
I know that we kind of poo-pooed the idea of commentary on the Mel Hoover,
yes, sure.
And I didn't want to be rude because I respect Mel, I like Mel, we have a good relationship.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to insult her, but commentary is very important on a live feed.
On a TV,
especially TV.
Yeah,
like if when I go put my cell phone up and I'm not fucking saying shit. I'm saying whatever I want.
Sure.
But for something like this, where we have undefeated fighters that are the last 3 fighters, and they will go on to be world champions at some point, it's important that we have commentary.
I think to bring in the audience too, like what you were doing at our local event here yesterday, was giving as much time as you could, giving a little context on the fighters and building them up a little bit. Not so much. Because when you just see two guys fighting, or to the average viewer, to seeing 2 fighters, you can give a little background and maybe get that information that you didn't get. With, and it'd make you look better. And are you? I would love to see your dynamic, how you feed off Mr.
Tremblay.
Mr. Tremblay. Yeah. I would like to see how you guys do well, because
we've met before. My initial choice was Manny Montreal.
Okay.
Because we know each other, we're comfortable with each other. We kind of have the same dialect.
Sure.
We operate. I'm rough.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be blatantly honest with you, Punching Grace, you're not going to get the cookie cutter commentator you're looking for. Like, if that's what you want, it's not me.
Right.
I'm going to say what I want when I want. I'm not going to drop F-bombs.
Sure.
But if I'm going to say it.
Right.
It's just the way it is. People like that.
I like it. I like it, and that's why I want to watch. And Joe Rogan's on his podcast often said, fighters get mad at him. And he says, you know what, I'm saying what I see, and it's unfortunately that you don't like it.
My wife just came home.
Did it? Well, so we're on the tail end of
she'll
anything.
know. She'll know what's going on. We got like 6 minutes left anyway.
It's not about time.
It's not a huge
deal. So yeah, I think we've said what we had to say. We heading out to Edmonton for the KO event. I would like to possibly bring out a mobile rig to get a podcast or 2. So where I'm gonna try my best to look who's on the card. Maybe we can sneak one in. No promises on anything, or maybe book some guests from that event. So maybe get a proper,
What I'd like to do is I'd like to get one of those mics that plug into the iPhone.
Yeah.
And then we can just go to work, right? Then it's easy.
Because I think it goes back to your ability, the chemistry between 2 actual people in a room.
I think I need a TV show, Derek.
We're moving in that direction. That's what's happening, and it's happening to do TV show, but just we need the audio visual. This is one part of it, but bringing it up into a next studio, and luckily we have, we've both been looking, under the radar for spaces and or opportunities to grow. I think our relationship that we had with the studio, the audiovisual crew yesterday,
Yeah.
and if I sign up for their what do they call it? Cable access entrepreneurship program.
Yeah.
That we will have access to better equipment, studio space, and really kind of bring it all together, and even just picking up knowledge from those pro guys.
Yeah.
You know, it would really help us move in the direction. But the TV show is definitely our way to go, whether it's a YouTube-based TV show and you just kind of really covering things. So the podcast is growing. Again, back to I'm getting phlegmy.
Derek's backing up. His rock star is backing up.
It is. It's lots of stuff coming from 219.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you guys right now, the next podcast is going to have Derek on it again.
Good.
Because we're going to have to do a KO boxing breakdown.
We'll do a KO boxing breakdown, and hopefully...
Because you're going to have a different vantage point than me, which is going to be cool this time, because I'm going to be with Vincent talking shit. And you're going to be... what I basically want to do with you is hand you the camera.
Sure.
And go.
I know, and just like different personalities, different... I see things in a different light than you do. And I bring in different people, just like you do too, and it's nice to bring them two together to come with an answer. And, I think I say this respectfully. I'm not in your fucking face and you're not mine. Leave me alone. And let me do you, and you do you, and I'll see you at the other side. Yeah. You don't fucking...
We going to walk box again?
The reason this is so funny... Walkbox, I wish I knew the actual location. But Tanner and I had farts. Ridiculous. Like, it was to the point where it wasn't funny anymore. And it was like, stop it.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. The first one is funny. Farts are funny all the time. I don't know who you are, but this wasn't funny anymore. So
it wasn't just like loud, boisterous farts. It was the scent.
And it was... then there.
It was rude.
It was disgusting. They had these suicide windows on our hotel, so we couldn't open them up. They're tired of people jumping out, so we couldn't open up the windows. So we were in there. So
it was fucking rude.
So we'll have to find a new place to go eat.
Listen, the first time I ever went there, I went there with Adam Braidwood, and it was fantastic.
I'm not saying it was bad.
It tasted great.
Yeah,
what the fuck happened to my gut?
That's it. So
that's what I want to know.
We're going to have to find a different place.
Okay, strategically, last time on the podcast, Derek, you cut out on the YouTube portion of it.
I did.
Why?
It was my first time on the podcast, and I was really kind of insecure about certain things. We talked about some of my sexual escapades.
Yeah.
I think there's a time and place for it. I wasn't ready to share that. Give me another 2 weeks and I'll open up as the podcast goes along. My personality will open up. But I did go I took permission. On the YouTube section, I cut out the rub and tug section. It's funny, yes, and I may do the unreleased version of it.
It made the actual audio version because I do that part.
Yeah, so I had no say. I know it was going out there, but if I could limit the damage, I was gonna do it. But we can talk about more of my alternative lifestyle, being a single guy in my 40s with no kids, in future episodes. But there's a time and place for it.
Shout out to Manny Montreal. He actually went on his own now, and shit's rolling for him. He broke off onto his own. He's doing his own thing. I will say, the Fight City, you guys fucked up because you guys started a podcast called the Fight City Podcast. I tried to listen to it. I couldn't get through it. But you had a fantastic person in Manny Montreal that should have been doing that show. Or at least should have been an invited guest. And he never was. So that's a real slap in the face to somebody that worked their fucking ass off for you, did 208 or 9 episodes of breaking down fights and telling people what the fuck is going on his own dime. You guys aren't paying him a red cent and you couldn't invite him to the dance. I invited him on my show. He's been on my show more times than he's been on yours. You guys fucked up. Man, he's got a great personality. Everything that he says, do I agree with? Fuck no.
That's what makes him...
That's what I like about him.
Yeah, right. Like talking to yourself.
He shit down the neck of Dario Berdician for that fucking Shaquille Finn fight.
He did near the end.
Hey, man. Dario's my boy. Am I going to defend him? Yeah. I did. but it doesn't mean that I dislike Manny.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything personal.
Yeah.
He went after Steve Claggett. Steve Claggett's my boy. Did I defend Steve? Yeah.
I think that makes for a good relationship too.
It's amazing because we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's why I like him. But I guess who didn't we mention today? USG Canada. We didn't talk about the gloves.
Yeah, let's talk about it for a bit. Tell me about them. I don't know that much about this sponsor. They came to you first, so I don't have any background on them.
So my main man Howie from Toronto, Canada, he runs that company. It's a full athletic line, but they make legit gloves.
Good one.
Legit gloves.
And if anybody knows gloves, you do. You've had
Yeah.
experiences with all brands.
I love don't get me wrong, these Sabas gloves are the best gloves I've ever had. I haven't had the opportunity to put the USG gloves on yet. I've heard nothing but great things about them. They're right up there with winning Sabas, Grant. They're right up. They're in the talk.
Okay.
Right. I'll tell you guys once I put them on.
They do some cool stuff with logos. I've seen.
They do anything you want.
So
you
they-
want a giant dick on your glove? They'll put it on there. They don't give a fuck.
Really?
Yeah. You want a giant cock?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Punch people in the face with a dick. They'll do it. But so what they did for me is they sent me well over $2,000 worth of gloves.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow,
Plus they make all my walkout gear. They're gonna make my fucking boots.
wow.
Yeah.
And that's USG.com. What is it?
They don't have their website
Yeah,
up yet. But when the website does go up, go to thefinalshoppodcast.com.
And
Go to our store. We will have everything
we'll
on our
resell
store.
them and link them to
Yeah,
them.
and it'll get linked right to their website.
Perfect. That's a wrap for me. I'm out, man.
All right, well, guys, it's onit.com/TFS podcast. Save fucking 10%, bitch. Buds and Leaves, Smile Canada, Smile V Liquid, Tough Canuck Beard Company. Thanks, everybody, and that's the final shot.
Boom. We're out. That was fun.